Hi, I'm excited to have you here. Welcome to the Special Moms channel where we talk about faith, we talk about um, special education, everything that has to do with special education. So, my job here simply is to support you, to encourage you, to give biblical principles, faith in everything that concerns special education. So, that's why I'm here. Yes, this is the channel to be in. This is the channel for special needs children, for parents with special needs. It's a channel to share faith. It's a channel for support. It's a channel for information and education in everything and anything that has to do with special needs. And also, I would also share resources based on, the information and the request that I get. So feel free to please ask me questions and you'll definitely get answers. Feel free to ask me for any assistance that you need in relation to your child. So that's the reason why I'm here. So welcome once again to my channel. If you're new, you're very welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Okay, so let's go straight to the point and the topic for today. In the last video I had I talked about speech delay. So today I intend to go a little bit further with that conversation. I gave 2 tips from the last video on how to help improve your child's communication. So today, like I said, I intend to go further with 4 more tips that could help you in improving your child's communication and basically get your child talking and interacting with you like you would want to, also bearing in mind that every child is different. So you don't need to put so much pressure and feel so frustrated or feel like you're not doing enough for your child. That's not the aim of this video. It's just to help share a few tips that you can use, modify it to suit your child's interest. The wisest thing you can do is to find your child's interest and then build vocabularies around your child's interest. By so doing, you will get them to speak, you get them to talk, you will improve their communication ability. Okay, so having said that, I have 4 tips today for you. 1, walking with your child. When I say walking with your child, what do I mean by that? I'm just simply saying that you need to engage your child in conversations, open-ended questions. Do not just allow the child point to anything or any object that they want and then you just hand them whatever it is they've pointed to or at. So walking with your child requires you to engage with your child in talking. That means reading, that means singing along, that means playtime. So there are so many things you can do to improve your child's communication. So working with your child would mean, when reading with your child, make sure you're using simple words, make sure you're using plain and clear words that are easy and easy to understand for the child. For example, if a child points to a bottle of water, so here you have bottle, you also have water, and I also feel that in that engagement you also have drink. So that's another word you could also work with your child. So you have water, you have bottle, you also have drink, because obviously the child wants water to drink. So what are you supposed to do as a parent? You're supposed to engage the child in that interest. So the child wants water, you want water, this is a bottle, drink, you want to drink water, so now you can now play around with those words. That's engaging with your child, because at that point in time, that's what the child wants. And so it's easier to build vocabularies around regular things or regular demands of the child, if you get what I mean. So that's what I mean by working with your child. It's okay for you to for you to expect that a teacher would teach your child all of those things, but the first few years of our children lies in the hands of parents to be able to build up their vocabulary and help them have solid foundation before they get into the outside world, which is school. So that's what I mean by working with your child. Reading, and reading, sing-alongs, and all of that could improve your child's communication, because you are you're your child's first teacher. Anything the child sees, anything that's in the child's environment is something you can use to teach. It is something you can use to improve communication. So engaging your child constantly with open-ended questions, engaging your child constantly in reading, in singing alongs, will go a long way to help improve your child's vocabulary and communication. So secondly, what else can you do to improve your child's communication? You could use routines. Routines and schedules are very, very important. It helps build independence in every single human being. Even as an older person, I still use routines. I still use schedules because they help me stay on track. So that's why it's also good to use routines and schedules for your children, because it helps them get familiar. It helps them to predict the environment that they're in, which means, okay, nap time is at this time, snack time is at this time, play time is at this time, reading time. So all of those structures put in place, all of those routines put in place will help shape the child's personality, shape the child's emotions, build particularly independence with the child when you're not there and when you're there. So routines and schedules are very, very important. It helps in putting structure to the child's daily activity. Because when you do that, you are able to program the child to do certain things at certain times. Because with children, once you set in certain routines, it's difficult to break down. So it's like you're building blocks to getting them to be independent on their own. So routines and schedules are very good ways to incorporate into your child's daily activity to help build independence and also to help improve their communication. That being said, thirdly, another thing you could also do to improve your child's communication skill is exposing them to external relationships, social interactions. Now, I know some of us do have special needs children that we tend to feel embarrassed with, or we tend to feel shy and ashamed about. No, that's not the way to go. If you have a special needs child, or you have a child with speech delay, that's not the time to restrict the child in the house. That's the time to allow the child interact with every other child their age, and even with adults, because you are helping to build confidence. You are not helping in any way by allowing the child stay indoors because you feel insecure, because you feel afraid that people would look at the child differently. Yeah, it's bound to happen, but you need to accept the fact that this is what you have, this is the child God has given you, and so you have to embrace it and work with the resources and everything that is available at your disposal to help improve the child's life. So the child is not going to stay in the house forever, so why not expose the child to other children? That way you help build confidence. That way you help build the child's communication. So what am I trying to say? I'm saying that external social interactions is very, very important in building the communication skill of your child. Once a child is able to communicate, of course, there's a tendency to be confident in yourself. You are free to express yourself. You're not intimidated by people. Yes, I know we adults still tend to feel a little bit intimidated with certain environments that we find ourselves in. So that's why it's important to expose your children. Take them out of the house, let them interact with other children, their cousins, other relatives, in the neighborhood, as much as you can. Basically, what am I trying to say is expose your children to social interactions, external social interactions. So that's very, very important to build the child's vocabulary, communication skill, and confidence. Having said that, another tip I would also like to share with with improving your child's communication skill is make step-by-step direction. Step-by-step direction, meaning, for example, make sure every single thing you want the child to do is put in very simple steps, broken down into simple steps. It could just be 2 steps, which is, for example, you want your child to put away their clothes after when they go to bed, or when it's time to take their bath. You want them to put away their child. You just put simple instructions, stick it to the wall, and say, okay, first things first in the morning, put your clothes in the basket, get in the bathroom. Basically, I'm just trying to say 2 simple steps, broken down into 2 simple steps. Give directions in step-by-step format, so it's easy, it's clear, it's precise, it's not confusing. It's easy to understand that this is what is expected of me. That's also where routines come in. So giving step-by-step instruction, step-by-step direction will help improve your child's communication. So let me go over the 4 tips I just shared with you as regards improving your child's communication skill. 1, like I said, is building routines and schedules to help put predictability in the environment you're raising your child. 2, I talked about giving step-by-step instruction, step-by-step direction, simple directions in 2 simple steps to help build the child's routine, and also to build the child's communication skill. Thirdly, I talked about you working with your child as a parent. You know your child better. You know your child's interest. In engaging with your child, you'll find out what your child you'll find out what your child likes and doesn't like. So you can now build vocabularies. You can now build, activities around the interest of your child. By so doing, you're helping, improve your child's communication skill. So that's why we are parents. That's why we are moms. That's why we're there to help them, be the best that they can be. And we can only do that when we engage with them. I also mentioned that we should have open-ended questions. If a child wants something, they point to it. Ask a question. Is this what you want? Do you want the bottle? What do you want? What did you do? What did you eat? What did you eat? What do you want? You want a drink? So questions like that allows them or puts them in a position where they would have to, communicate back to you, and then you're able to build, their vocabularies around their interests. So that was what I said. And I also talked about external social interaction. Yes, I talked about external social interaction, allowing your child, exposing your child to, to the outside world, not necessarily within the confines of your home, because that's not helping. I know that it can be a bit, personal, that you don't want to expose your child to harmful or hateful words or mean words from the outside. But it's also not helping having to secure the child within the confines of your home. It's not helping either. So what would you do? The best way to also improve your child's communication would be to expose them to external relationship, socializing outside of the home. That would also improve their communication skill. So this is going to be a wrap for this video. I hope I've been able to, inform you. I hope I've been able to, encourage you that having a special needs child is no big deal. Having a special needs child with speech delay, you can work around it. The child can communicate effectively with time, with work, with available resources. It is possible to get your special needs child with speech delay to talk clearly, to speak with confidence, and most importantly, to be independent as they grow older. So it's me saying bye-bye. Thank you for listening, and thank you for having me in your space. Have a beautiful day. Bye.